Hey, 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 hey. This is Oma. I haven't been live in so long and probably won't have an audience, but I'm just going to talk. Well, today we'll be talking about the Braxton. Yeah. Haven't been live in so long. This is my backup channel, and you guys kind of help me out, try to help me out now. You guys, can y'all please hit that like button, share, and subscribe? Subscribe, you guys. Hit the like button. Try to get me up there to 1,000 people views. But anyway, you guys, let me just uh, tell you guys the disclaimer is, I have no. Oh God, where's my disclaimer at? Anyway, everything's allegedly on this channel, and the Copyright Act of 1976 allow for criticism, news reporting, teaching, and so on. So everything that's on here is allegedly and just my opinion, right? Well, anyway, you guys, this is on. Please hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Today, we're going to be talking about what happens when you are a victim or of abuse, and you go to your family member, and the family member either they're just won't believe you, or they believe you, or they just don't want to mess up the family name. You guys, right? It's amazing how many women find the strength to break the silence and speak out, like Ashley Braxton, right? Ashley Braxton is speaking out, and most of the survivors, whenever they disclose the assault, you usually have a typical reaction like Trina Braxton, right? Trina Braxton, she's not taking no accountability for nothing Gabe did. In fact, she lacked even sympathy or empathy for Ashley, if you ask me. But first, I did run into an old video where Iana, she was coaching Gabe and she was coaching Trina. And what was so Trina was sitting over there like this in the corner. Trina was so mad at Gabe. And so I'm wondering, is the what is it? Why are you so mad and angry, Trina? Right? Why? And so Gabe was saying that, he didn't trust Trina. He was so pissed off at Trina. Now I'm wondering. And then he said that Trina bullied him, that he did not stand up to be a man like he should to Trina. So I'm wondering, did your anger cause you to exert power and control over the little 16-year-old niece that was hanging around in the house? Right? You lack the nerve to speak up to Trina. So what would you do? Power and control by approaching a 16-year-old. Well, Iana breaks it down. She calls out gay cheating. Yes, she do. Now, victim blaming. Oftentimes, most of our family members they lack empathy. So what do? They start victim blaming, right? They blame the young lady, like Ashley said, when you old enough to know better. Oh, you just fast. You can be 5 or 6 years old and you run a family member and say, oh, yes, uncle, grandpa, or whatever male in the family was trying to touch you. You 5 years old. They telling you were just fast, girl. So one thing Trina had right when she was talking on her live was that, many families could see themselves in them girls. They are hiding all that pain and trauma that they went through, and they don't even want nobody to speak on it. And Trina lied. She feel like Ashley don't deserve to have a platform to talk about her abuse. She feel like she should have kept it silent, or she feel like she could have called her. Ashley could have called. Ashley like, why should I call you and you never believe me? You still with that same man, yeah. So anyway, often survivors are exposed to blaming victims on their behavior and their attitude. But let's take a look at Charleston White. We're gonna flip back to Charleston White. Charleston Charleston White is never lost for words, you guys. I'm gonna put this video through, y'all. I'm trying. Let's present yourself. Y'all bear with this old lady. Bear with this old lady. Let's look at some images, right? Let's look at this image right here. Well, I just want to show y'all this image, right? Trina to Ashley, you don't deserve, girl. You do not deserve to have a public platform. And do y'all know that the entire Braxton sisters, except for Tamar, feel like Ashley should not have a platform, right? They feel like Ashley just need to just shut up. Ashley, shut up. Don't be telling all this family secrets out here now, Ashley, because we gotta some kind to uphold our image in the community. But you guys, I don't know if y'all saw Trina's live that she did. Trina had no accountability. Trina lacked empathy. She lacked empathy towards Ashley until it manifests to her sticking up for Gabe, y'all. She says he's not here to defend himself. Now, a lot of us was wondering, was it Gabe? We wasn't sure, but we were wondering, was it Gabe? Is it Gabe that Ashley is talking about? But Trina confirmed it when she said that he's not here. The people we're talking about is not here to defend himself. Ashley is going through so much trauma and she's trying to heal. So when Tamar flew her down from Spain, right? Tamar said that she just brought the girl there just so the girl could know that someone loved her. Because nobody reached out to Tamar. Nobody reached out to Tracy. I do know that Tracy and Tamar are the two ones that have came forth and said that as a little child that somebody in the family was touching him, that they experienced that. Now, what happens when we're speaking in terms about these predators in our what happened is that seem like the family always protect the predator, right? But some women's gonna break that silent now. They're gonna break their silent and speak about the assault, right? But soon as they speak about the assault, your op's gonna say, "Stop speaking." Y'all know that it's so. Tony was so enraged. That's the first time I saw Tony out of character like that. Tony had such a negative reaction to this girl speaking out. Trina had such a negative reaction to Ashley speaking out. And Tawana gonna convince Trina that she is the victim and not Ashley, you guys. Well, what happens? All this negative reaction is to cause the survivor to be voiceless, y'all, making them want to go back into their silence. And all these kind of reactions, the way they treating Trina, the way they treating Ashley, right? They want her to feel powerless. But Ashley done did the work. She done did that work on herself, you guys. And you've been silenced. Stay silent, stay quiet, says the dad. Yeah, that's an unusual reaction right there, right? So, as we examine household as after household, every time they enables the predator to go from generation to generation throughout the family. Now, how these negative reactions can silence some of the victims, y'all, right? But that we're glad that Ashley is no longer going to be silenced. All right. So and then we got Charleston White. He up there, never lost for words. He's talking about the justice system. Some of y'all may not like Charleston White, but this time he's spitting facts about the justice system. He's saying that the justice system, when they had the creating prison, they had black folks in mind, right? That's what Charleston is saying. So let me put these videos up. Hopefully you guys are gonna rock with me. Hopefully you guys will subscribe and like. I'm trying to build my channel up. Don't forget y'all, Ivana Vincent is the best. I wish Ivana was still on. So I'm trying to put through Gabe and Ivana. All that's going to be on this video, you guys. I got 0 people in here. It's okay, but it's okay. I'm being patient with myself, you guys. Let's see how this works right here. Let's see here. This old lady just trying to renew her.
Yeah, I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Jealousy cry for you. Do things when you're wrong with you. Like control. Yeah, like control. Don't work like that when you love somebody. My own flex is my new flex now, and we're working on it. That's why I. This is taken from a young man by the name of Big Kish. Now, you guys have to go over there to see the rest of this. But Charleston White, y'all know he's never lost for word and he's always going to create drama. So, but this time he's speaking facts. He's talking about the prison pipeline, how the justice system is designed for black people in general. Listen to what he said.
I don't watch nothing white people talk about, especially politics. That's the biggest con game, Sam. I'm playing con, homie. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I don't give a f about being Republican or Democrat. I'm playing on both parties because both parties is dumb. All you got to know is some basic information about history and the Constitution, and you can play both sides. Because both sides are one and the same. A group of hateful old white people that are living in white fear because they know they have done everybody wrong. And their greatest nightmare is one day somebody sits over them. They're losing their country and they blaming we ain't sent 9 grams of fentanyl across the border, just destroying their white kids, just overdosing on all that. That's true. We ain't sent now, motherfucking me coronavirus disease over here to cause a wipe out of sick homie, but they blaming they as if the crime bothered them. Our crime do not affect white people. You know why? Because they got the prison on the stock exchange. So it ain't costing nobody no money to lock it up. They making money off locking it up. There go your free labor. So they complain about crime. They need this crime to keep black slaves. That's why even if we never commit a crime, before you're born in America as a black person, you're already a criminal. You know why? Because we can line up 50 black women. How many black women are having boys? They raise their hand. Okay, all black women line up over here. We go 1, 2, 3. One of y'all boys is going to prison before they're even born. Well, who's saying that? America. Because America has a booming prison industry. And they need this prison industry. Not only that, it strips these black people of the rights we once gave them because we still need slaves for free labor. So this crime don't affect us. And it don't affect white people while you're using it as talking points. How many black women having babies? 1, 2, 3. One of y'all going to prison. You know why? Because the American statistics says 1 in every 3 black males will go to prison or be on some form of community supervision in their lifetime. It don't say maybe, it don't say well, but it says 1 in 3 will go. So who makes this stuff? We can go look at black babies. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 of these babies going to prison. And there's nothing nobody can do about it. They put this in place for this race. Prison was not put in place for nobody else, but specifically this race. Yeah, we'll put others in there, but the majority is for these people. These people pose the greatest threat to us because they might want retribution one day because we ain't never been fair to them.
Prevent a black Messiah. Sounds familiar? Sounds like the book of Exodus when the Pharaoh said, get rid of all the firstborns.
We ain't never been fair to them. So we got to make sure.
Not the firstborn, but get rid of all the boys. Get rid of all the boy children.
They stay where they are because our greatest fear is they get over us one day. Do you see how they do each other when they're fighting each other? Do you see some of these snippets when the 20 black guys jump on one white boy? Homie, that's their greatest fear, that it's going to be like that everywhere for them. So they make sure they put things in place years in advance because what they said was, we must do this now for future generations may not understand. The future white people is going to be way more compassionate than these people. So they put things in place now that their children can't even undo because they like their slaves. They know their kids grew up and like them. And then when I grow up and I'm slave master, I'm going to let you free. Even the kids had empathy. That's why they love us today. That's why they needed a Charlie from football, basketball.
Imagine having to live amongst the people that you did wrong, that your ancestors did wrong, and this caused them to be in the position that they're in now, and you don't know their thoughts. You thinking that they're going to one day rise up against you, and you living in fear.
Boxing, any kind of game that humans is involved in, homie, that you can bet on, that has some monetary value on it, it's rigged. When you look at views from an artist when they drop an album, it's rigged.
Definitely.
Everything is rigged to make it seem and appear real to the average mind. Everything is rigged.
So this is by Big Kiss. You guys go over there and check him out. That's Charleston White. Message just broke the algorithm. Charleston White ain't never lost for words, that's for sure.
Hi, this is Tracy Braxton, and you're watching the Bobby
Hi, I'm Laura with thebobbypin.com.
Hi.
And my question is, Crash and Burn for debut album is a very interesting name. And I would assume that you're trying to make a statement.
But I think that you can call it family secrets, you can call it, Braxton, no family values, like I saw some people saying. Right, it's just the Braxtons right now. I don't think, like I said on the show, I'm going to reiterate it again, everything is not for public consumption. I think that I'm not saying the covered wagon, I'm just saying that things should be talked about, things should be dealt with, and things should be discussed if you want real, true healing. I don't think that social media is a forum for people to hear things, especially if it involves them firsthand. Social media is not a place to hear things firsthand. It's just not. And I love you guys enough to tell the truth, and I love me enough to protect myself and my family and my children. Um, would I be willing to have a conversation? Absolutely. But I think that needed to happen prior to. Do you feel like this is all worth it for all your family business to be put out there? Is it all worth it? And I'm going to actually address that question and say absolutely, and I'm going to tell you why. Because our family is just like everybody else's family. And there might be something that happened within our family that might make somebody say, you know what, that's happening in my family and we can reach resolve. If they can do it, I can do it, we can do it. I'm going to say this. I cannot negate anyone's feelings in any way, shape, or form. And I will say this. I think that you can never put a time limit on someone's feelings, their emotions, or even their version of what the truth may be to them. But I do wish that the people that were spoken about were able to tell their own version of their story, of their truth, because they're no longer with us.
So everybody suspected you were gay. Remember, Ashley never called any names, but she just confirmed it. The person that was speaking about is no longer here.
And that's not always fair. That's not always fair. And people have to talk about things when they're ready to talk about them. And yes, you guys are loud. Caleb.
Too loud as hell up there. The Braxton drama. Listen here, y'all. Let me just see. I'm taking this from BVF. BFB fans post now. Trina is saying that Ashley does not deserve to have a platform to be talking about the abuse. Okay? Why didn't she just call me? My number haven't changed, but yours have. But Ashley, but Trina, you stayed with Gabe. Why would she keep on telling you that this man is doing inappropriate things to her? She has to remove herself from the situation since the family members is not going to make sure that she was safe. But why should she trust you, Trina, when you stay with the man? And it's always to me, like I said, this is victim blaming. Oh, you were old enough. You were old enough to know better. Oh, you too fast. Oh, you threw yourself on him. This girl was underage. And she did come to you, Trina. She did come to her family. But anyway, this is taken from BFV fans post off of Facebook. Simone says, I'm a bit confused on the timeline of the events, but it's sad that Denise felt she needed to tell her story publicly. Now, remember, Trina, this is her story as well. And you guys want Ashley to shut up. Even the dad, that's even stranger. Most dad be ready to come and choke that man that done hurt his kid. But I saw a clip of Trina saying that she thought that conversations with the niece prior to all of this was all she needed to hear. And if it wasn't, she could have came back to her. Why I'm coming back to you? You still with that man that's trying to do inappropriate things to me. You took his word over mine. Doing it publicly may not have been the best option for the family, but if she felt it was the best option for herself, that's all that should matter in the situation. Besides, that man is dead. If that was my niece, I wouldn't care about preserving the honor of a man who hurt her. Wow. I want to say that again.
If I wouldn't care about preserving the honor of a man that hurted my niece, Ashley deserves a chance to heal. And that's one thing Trina said. Now, nobody, that girl never mentioned not one time whose name it was that was violating her. But Trina said, yeah, the person is not no longer here to defend themselves. So now we know it's A. Tabitha said, look now, unless I have missed something, I've never heard her say which husband and aunt it was. And she didn't, Tabitha. The only people I heard them say names were people who were not involved in the situation. You people don't have a clue of what's happening or anything else. Y'all just making assumptions. Well, yeah, they were making assumptions. She did not mention anyone, but look at Trina just did a live this week and did a live over the weekend, and she mentioned that person that she wished that person was still here to tell their own story. In other words, Trina's still going out for Gabe, y'all. Charity says, I don't care how you get trauma is trauma. Trauma. And it never goes away. And the sister's doing that to Tamar. Tamar definitely is traumatized. We can see the traumatization in Tamar. Let me start all over. Charity says, I don't care how you get. Trauma is trauma. Trauma is trauma. And it never goes away. And the sister's doing that to Tamar. So she can't speak about it. Wrong, period. They are wrong. They're wrong. All of y'all not wrong. Y'all not for not sure that the niece, yes, family should want to heal and love you regardless. Now I'm reading this. I'm reading this from Charity, but that's right, Charity. Trauma is trauma, and trauma takes a long time to go away. And people react in different ways when it comes to trauma. Look at how Tamar acts. Tamar is very traumatized. You can tell by her behavior. Miss Evelyn, you as a mother, did you not reach out to your daughters and your niece as the mom? I'm not putting no blame on you, Miss Evelyn. I'm not. And what about dad? Them dads in the family. You had grandpa in the family. You got her Ashley dad. No, none of the men stood up for Ashley. Anyway, in this culture, you always blame the victim, just like Ashley said. You should have known better.
My parents first brought it up to my aunt. She was there for me, very like, I'm so sorry this happened to you. And as the years have evolved, that has turned into, it's your fault. It's turned into, you were old enough to know right from wrong, and you did it. And for me, that's mind-boggling to me because I'm 16 years old. This makes this person a...
So, the return of the Braxton.
The subjugation of yourself to the good of other people or the needs of other people. And in the same way you've had anger built up towards her, she had anger built up towards you too. The thing that I really want you to get, and you and I talked a little bit about this, is that y'all were doing the same thing to each other. You know, your behavior was one thing, and it was the infidelity, but your behavior, what's the word?
So she talks about gay infidelity. Now, so Trina knows that her husband is a flirt, but yet she's still going to take up a game against her niece, in my opinion, Ashley. Anyway, so right there, he is a womanizer, a flirt.
gay there, and Trina knows this.
That we use the emasculation. That was how you did it, you know. Mm-hmm. And so, how are you going to be different when you leave here?
Well, for me, I'm gonna talk to my sons more.
How about listen to your sons more?
Yes. Well, communicate, talk, let them talk. I'm gonna, just spend more time together.
Yeah. Because he felt abandoned, he felt neglected, and they don't know.
That's very important, because gay will keep those boys. I don't think they're biological gay, but he's raising them as his, and he will keep those boys because she would be on the road singing with Tony. And I guess the kids doing this missed their mom while she was out touring. Yeah. Iana, get to the bottom of this, you guys. Trina sitting up there acting like she is a victim. And she all knows that her husband is a flirt now. So her niece came to her and told her what was going on. And now she still want to turn her back on her niece, in my opinion.
Our eye-opening black narrative, and kindly subscribe to Stay Put for more, while you also keep the channel growing. Your support means a great deal to us. Let's begin.
This is taken from the Black Journals. 15 Black inventors. Black excellent. Invention that were silenced.
1. Gladys West, mathematician who gave us GPS. Gladys West, 1930 till present, is a mathematician whose extremely detailed model of the Earth became the foundation of GPS that is used today in countless applications, including navigation and communication. Born in 1930 in a small community in Virginia, Gladys West fantasized about escaping rural life and felt that education was her only way out. She earned top grades to win a full scholarship to Virginia State College and took on babysitting and teaching jobs to support herself. In 1956, shortly after graduating with a master's in mathematics, she was hired by the U.S. Naval Surface Warfare Center, at the time becoming only the second black woman ever to be hired at the facility. The very first computers arrived during that time, so she quickly learned how to program to analyze satellite data. After showcasing her skills working on award-winning studies looking at Pluto's motion relative to Neptune, she was named project manager for the CSAT radar altimetry project, the first satellite that could monitor the oceans. It was here that she created the detailed mathematical model of the shape of the Earth, which accounted for things like gravitational and tidal forces that changed the Earth's shape. However, after retiring in 1998 and recovering from a stroke, Gladys West went back to school to earn her PhD at the age of 70. It was only in 2017, after the release of the movie Hidden Figures, that she started to receive recognition for her role in revolutionizing navigation. 2. John Standard. He was said to be born in 1891 and hailed from Newark, New Jersey. He is known to have patented an improvement in the design of refrigerator and a gas stove design. John Standard lived in a time when racial discrimination was notorious in American society, and African Americans were looked down on by the American whites. John Standard's obscurity comes as a direct example of the racial mindset of the people. Surprisingly, even with the existence of a huge number of information websites on the World Wide Web, there is not one reliable source that can provide any substantially complete information about John Standard. However, what has been documented about him is that he patented an improvement in the design of the refrigerator on June 14, 1891. Contrary to a widespread belief, John Standard did not invent the refrigerator. He applied an improvement to its design. Another of John Standard's inventions was a portable form of stove that he patented on October 29, 2013. John Standard lived a life of obscurity, owing to the oppressive time he lived in. It is speculated that John Standard worked as a help for American white women and aided in sewing chores. Records were not made for African Americans, and there is wide speculation.
Okay, you guys, that's it. This just was a test drive. This old lady just tested. Y'all please like and subscribe and get me on up there. I only got 500 and some subscribers, okay? This is my backup channel. For those of you that don't know me, my main channel is Earth Journey at Officially Black Titanic. But anyway, don't forget your ancestors, right? Because we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors, and maybe somebody will come in later. Thank you guys for being here. And remember, if you are a survivor, don't keep that quiet. Tell somebody. Heal yourself, right? Bye-bye. Bye.